Hello, fellow travelers. Welcome back to Travel Capades. If you're new here, our channel is all about practical travel tips, from traps to avoid to money-saving tips and more. So be sure to like and subscribe if that's your kind of thing. And don't forget to check out the free written version of this guide linked below, which includes even more details and activities worth booking, plus recommendations for restaurants, hotels, and more. Given that London is such a hot spot for tourists, it's no surprise that there are many areas that have become must-see destinations. However, locals know better. These places are often overpriced, overcrowded, and honestly, not worth your time. In this video, I'll guide you through which areas to skip and suggest some alternatives that you'll enjoy much more. Let's dive in. If you can avoid Leicester Square, what's the appeal? You've got McDonald's, M&M World, TI Fridays, and a bunch of American candy stores. Is that really why you came to London? Trust me, locals only pass through here only out of necessity. It's ironic Leicester Square used to be the cultural heart of London centuries ago. People flocked here for entertainment and a taste of culture. Now it's the place where good taste goes to die. If global fast food chains, tacky casinos, and overpriced cinemas are your thing, then by all means, head to Leicester Square. But if you want something more authentic, there are much better spots nearby. Just a couple of minutes away is Soho, a vibrant area that really comes alive in the evenings. Whether you're looking for good bars, great food, or just a lively atmosphere, Soho is where you want to be. If you've been reading travel guides, you might think Camden Market is a cool, eclectic spot to visit. Unfortunately, that reputation faded about a decade ago. The market was bought out by wealthy investors, which drove up rent prices, forcing many independent vendors out. What's left now is a lot of shops selling overpriced junk. Instead, check out Camden Passage, not in Camden, but just 30 seconds from Angel Station. This charming little street is full of independent shops and cafes and has managed to retain its character without being overtaken by big chains. It's especially lovely during the week when it's quieter. If you're into antiques, visit on a Wednesday or Saturday for a pop-up antique market with affordable treasures. Welcome to Oxford Street, Europe's busiest shopping street, attracting around 500,000 people daily. Walking here can be a nightmare. Trust me, on a Saturday in December, this street is a madhouse. Besides Selfridges, most of the shops here are global brands you can find anywhere. Londoners avoid Oxford Street whenever possible. But if you're keen on shopping, I have two alternative recommendations. First, head to Marylebone Street, just a short walk from Oxford Street. This is one of my favorite shopping spots because of its mix of boutique shops, independent stores, coffee shops, and even charity shops with great finds. It's much less crowded and the vibe is relaxed, almost village-like. Alternatively, if you're into vintage and secondhand shopping, head to Shoreditch on Brick Lane. You'll find unique, interesting pieces that are also better for the environment. While you're there, don't miss East End Prints. It's the best place in London for prints. Finally, let's talk about Westminster Bridge and the South Bank near the London Eye. This area is always packed, which is why many Londoners avoid it. Understandably, tourists flock here for photos of Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, and a London Eye. But it's also a prime spot for pickpockets and scammers. Instead, let me introduce you to Bermondsey, one of my favorite areas in London. It's centrally located, close to the River Thames, London Bridge, and the Shard, yet it has a unique village feel. More things you can do to make your stay enjoyable. London is a hugely popular destination, and for good reason. This city has so much to offer. But that also means it gets incredibly busy, especially during peak times like summer holidays, July to early September, and the Christmas season. If you're planning to visit the major tourist spots during these times, expect some delays and potential disappointments if things are sold out. If you can avoid traveling during peak times, that's ideal. However, I know that's not always possible. So, here's a simple tip. Explore beyond the typical tourist areas. Consider visiting places like Hampstead, Brixton, or London Fields. These spots are less affected by mass tourism, meaning fewer crowds and a more enjoyable experience. Taking the London Underground, or Tube, is the most efficient way to get around the city. I know public transport can seem daunting, especially if you're not used to it, but trust me, it's the best way to maximize your time here. Hiring a car in London is a big no-no. You'll regret it the moment you hit the traffic. And while taxis are an option, they could be slow due to congestion. To make things easier, download Google Maps or Citymapper. They're essential for navigating London's public transport system. Choose a hotel that's well connected by public transport, even if it's not right in the heart of the tourist areas. You don't need to stay in super central locations like Westminster to get around easily. As long as you're within a 5-minute walk of a major tube station, you'll be able to explore the city with ease. Some of the best connected stations outside of central London include King's Cross, Paddington, Old Street, Liverpool Street, and Earl's Court. These stations have multiple tube lines passing through, making it easy to reach different parts of the city. If you're unsure where to stay, we have a very valuable blog post, plus a free download for top locations and hotel recommendations for every budget within London. Check the link in the description after you finish watching this video. Before you arrive, make a list of the things you really want to do, and equally important, what you're not interested in. This might seem obvious, but remember, you don't have to visit every must-see attraction just because someone else said it's a must. If the Tower of London doesn't excite you, skip it. There's so much to do in London, and with limited time, you should focus on what really interests you. When planning your days, try to focus on walkable areas. London is vast, and unless you're up for walking miles each day, it's best to explore one neighborhood at a time. This way, you'll avoid wasting time traveling across the city and will be able to enjoy more of what each area has to offer. And please don't overplan. Packing too much into your itinerary is a surefire way to burn out. Instead, pick 2 or 3 main activities for each day, plan your meals around them, and leave some time to relax and explore on a whim. I love spontaneity as much as the next person, but when it comes to popular London restaurants, attractions, and theaters, booking in advance is key. During peak season, these spots can fill up fast, so reserving ahead of time ensures you won't miss out. Plus, sometimes you can even snag a discount by booking early. Who doesn't love saving a bit of money? One of my favorite ways to maximize your time in London is by joining a tour. There are so many knowledgeable guides who can show you around the city, providing a wealth of information and experiences in a short amount of time. For instance, if you're keen to try a variety of British foods, book a food tour. It's much more efficient than running around the city on your own, and you'll learn the history behind each dish. Now, this might be controversial, but I recommend avoiding day trips if you're in London for less than 7 days. London itself has so much to offer, and taking a day trip means spending several hours on a train, limiting your time to explore the city. If you have a longer stay, day trips are fantastic, but with a shorter visit, focus on experiencing London itself. Now, this might be controversial, but I recommend avoiding day trips if you're traveling through for less than 7 days. London itself has so much to offer, and taking a day trip means spending several hours on a train, limiting your time to explore the city. Contrary to my earlier point of avoiding peak season, there is great appeal in experiencing London during the Christmas season. Covered in the magic of Christmas, London transforms into a winter wonderland, with Christmas markets, beautiful decor, and activities for the family. If perhaps you wish to experience the magic of Christmas in London, then I recommend you watch the next video. Don't forget to check the description for the full blog post, which has lots of recommendations and money-saving options for you to book your activities. Thank you for watching. See you next video.